Wilson Okeke, media consultant and public affairs analyst. Good morning and welcome to Press Review.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, former BS UNICEF country rep Monduit extols a salute for championing prioritizing welfare of children.
Anambra State government to launch solution lens tomorrow.
Anambra State Police Command rearrest suspect linked to kidnap murder of lawmaker Justice Azuka.
Anambra State Assembly Speaker orders attacks lawmakers on quality representation.
Obasanjo asks Nigeria's leaders to move country forward.
French film star Depardieu convicted of sexual assault.
And finally, from the world of the round letter game, 2025 Under-20 AFCON, Nigeria's Flying Eagles to battle South Africa in semi-finals. These are the trending ones from Anambra Broadcasting Service. Okay, who fires the first salvo? Let's have your views on the headlines. Prof.
Okay, let me look at Obasanjo asked Nigerian leaders to move the country forward.
Yes.
Leadership is something that people always see from a very narrow perspective. We are leaders in our own various capacities.
Yes.
And part of what is drawing the country or this part of the globe back is lack of personal accountability. We have accountability on the government side, on the wider destiny.
Yeah.
And you see that lack of personal accountability is like, or could be compared to mild terrorism. Why do I have to say that? When somebody, maybe you're in office, you don't care about the facilities. In an office, by the time you stay 3 months, everything is gone, broken down, and you don't care. How can such a society be built? You know, so we have 2 levels of responsibility that we expect from the, in quote, so-called leaders. That is governors, senators, and so on and so forth. And you sitting in your bedroom, the lecturer in his classroom, the least person, even in the church, you have leaders, youth leaders, so you should also remember that you are also accountable. And by the time we do that, because if you find out the way we handle our facilities, or what we call public facilities, it is nothing to write home about. Today you have very fine edifice of it. In months, I'm not even saying years, you'll be saying, is that the same building that the governor, commissioned the other day? So we need to see perspective leadership from the perspective that every person is involved.
Okay.
Let me add to what he has just said. You see, leadership is a very, very sensitive position. Because whenever you find yourself in a position of leadership, what it means is that you are the man who is piloting the affairs of either a company, a family, or a church, or anywhere, any organization. So in that, if you don't provide quality leadership, that is where the problem is. And that is why Obasanjo has said leaders should provide leadership that will move this country forward. In saying so, Obasanjo had been there. He knows what he's saying. Because what we lack in this country is leadership. And that is what has kept us where we are. We don't have people who are committed to the position they found themselves to serve the people. Because there's this saying Shakespeare, living above board.
Yeah.
That is it. And when you see people taking out of office, they promise that they will provide leadership no matter without fear or favor. Without fear or favor.
Fear or favor, yeah.
That is it. But whenever, after taking the oath of office, you see them favoring people, even favoring themselves above the people they are meant to serve. So that is why we are where we are today. And we have this problem when we say poor leadership, our powerful leadership begets poor leadership. Yeah. Because all evil makes you record very well. Because any society begets the type of leadership they want. if you are living in a corrupt society, you breed corrupt leadership. And that is why we are where we are today in this country. We don't have leaders. Because when we look at other clients, where they have good leadership, you see the country moving forward.
Yeah.
Dubai, where everybody is rushing to. As of 1980, Dubai came to this country to borrow money to develop. But because they have good leadership, they have a man who will say, let us take this way.
Yeah.
And everybody follows that way. And a man who is not self-serving, a man who has the interests of people at heart. So he worked for his people. That is leadership.
Yeah.
And not for a man like the kind of leadership we have in this country. Whenever a man gets to power, he remembers his immediate family, his kindred.
Even at a point in time, Malaysia came to Nigeria to take our today what is happening there. Look at what Traore is doing over there.
I remember General Pinochet in Chile.
Yeah.
He was a military dictator, but Pinochet developed Chile. Chile was a third world country, but today you cannot call Chile a third world country any longer. Look at India, our fellow third world country. Or do I mention Brazil, our fellow third country? In Brazil, DIC, that's the Defense Industrial Corporation, of the type we have in Kaduna, they have it in Brazil. The same year, they established their own, we established our own, and that was, I think, 1963. As of today, that of Brazil is manufacturing aircraft. Our own is still trying to manufacture AK-47. So you see what poor leadership causes. So poor leadership is a problem. It doesn't take any country forward.
Okay, now what's the solution? How do
The solution is that our leadership recruitment process should be reviewed.
The people recruiting the so the people as well are part of the problem.
That is what I've just said. That
yes, because you said
the society begins corruption.
They deserve.
Yeah.
So I don't think we deserve what is happening now.
No, that is why we should review our leadership recruitment process.
Okay.
And you know that when actually can you never review our leadership recruitment process. We are actually let us review our leadership recruitment process. It is good Obasanjo said it because Obasanjo had been there. He knew what he was saying. Like I said, Obasanjo won him I said, well, one Nigeria can
yeah.
Since 1978,
He's been there, he's seen it all. That's why he's commenting from that angle. Okay, join the conversation 0706 5381 320. And if you're following us on the social media, Facebook, do well to drop your comment there so that we read out your comments.
You can also call us on 0808-487-2166. I take the number again, 0808-487-2166. Or you can send us a WhatsApp message to the WhatsApp number 0705-113-8812. Someone is here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to ABS.
Thank you. My name is Precious. I'm calling from Lincoln.
Okay, Precious. Go on.
Okay. I want to comment on what the former president said concerning leadership.
Yeah.
I would advise the current president, to visit in Anambra. We learn from Ibrahim Traore what transformation he is bringing to the country, and not just spending our resources on flying to other countries.
Okay.
They should fight overseas and learn from those countries how they are transforming their own country.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We have a message on WhatsApp. Heartbeat of the East, good morning all. The former President, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, has said it all. What we need now in Nigeria is leadership where showcasing and the real relationship connect as depicted by the solution government. And that's from the CEO, RRCW, Honorable Engineer Chidiebere Jonathan Okafor, Akeze Igwe Idane, and the Anambra State media. Keep your messages coming, keep your calls coming. Let's share the conversation.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, welcome to ABS.
Yeah, thank you. You people in this studio. This is my first time caller.
Oh, first time caller.
Yeah, this is my first time caller. I'm calling from Asoka in the local government.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm only listening to your comments and your political voice, and I love it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So I want to comment on what. Sorry, my name is Mr. Ebo Joseph.
Go on, Joseph.
Yeah, Ebo Joseph. I'm calling from Igwe. I'm calling from Igwe Municipal Local Government.
All right.
Go on, Joseph.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
I just want to comment on what the
Can you make it louder, Joseph?
Obasanjo said. Yes, Obasanjo was there. And we have been president using the representative.
Yeah.
But since when he was there, he doesn't do anything.
He didn't do anything?
The scenario.
Really?
From this contract. It's now he's collecting. I don't know the reason why our leaders only view the condition of the contract after they have left the office. He doesn't do anything.
Okay.
To correct the error.
All right, thank you.
Or be correct leadership.
Thank you.
But now, when he was outside the leadership, he started telling us all this type of stories. Please.
He's playing the role of a statesman, advisory role.
And when it is needed you to do it, and you after you can't do anything, you start telling us.
All right.
Who that person that is telling us that he will do because
you have just one more second to conclude.
And he refuses to do it.
All right, thank you.
I'm here, this country, I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Your time is up. Your time is up, please. Your time is up. When you call, you just have 35 seconds. And being our first-time caller, let's give you these. Yeah. That's for the first-time caller. Let's take one more call and move over to the national dailies. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning to you this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Being on our studio.
Good morning.
Yeah, leadership is a topic that we can debate from now to the end of this life. But the school of thought, leadership has to do with ICC, integrity, character, and capacity. And if the eye is not there, don't need of looking for not need of looking for the speed, because you cannot get it there. The man at the school has said it. How do we get people that lead us? Until you get it right, we don't expect magic to happen, because you cannot do now what you don't have. Good one and just get Anambra State.
Bless you, Matakwaka, too. You're always making it straight to the point. Let's now move over to the national dailies, kick-starting with Punch. Political firefight Saraki panel mobilizes PDP bigwigs against defections. Fuel import ban fears reignite Dangote marketers' row. 9 banks earn 2.3 trillion naira, interest on 61.6 trillion naira loans. FG voided June 12 to avoid paying Abiola 45 billion naira. That's a statement credited to Lamido. Mass failure, JAMB VCs to review UTME results Thursday. Rectors, provosts, principals, examiners to meet JAMB chiefs. Candidates decry results discrepancies. Tinubu Akpabio governors pay clerk final respect. U.S. shares Wigwe's helicopter crash report with the federal government. Obasa APC protesters clash over LG primary outcome. And then finally from Punch, cash transfer missed billions of needy Nigerians. That's a report again credited to World Bank.
From the Independent, stakeholders warn against politicizing Cocoa Board, urge self-funding. Say board must focus on regulation, not marketing. Defections spark concerns over Nigeria's democratic integrity. All KB senators dump PDP for APC. Still on Daily Independent, we have not achieved Nigeria of our dream yet. Coming from Obasanjo, banner headline, the writers say we all have roles to play to forge national unity. Coming from Abdusalami, setting Nigeria on path of true growth, development. Coming from Tinubu, Lamido asks Tinubu to clear federal government's 45 billion naira debt owed Abiola's family. Defectors will be put to shame by the electorate. Coming from Bode George, Tinubu has created the right environment for investments. Coming from Shetima, court dismisses 1 billion naira rights suit against Natasha Oti-Udain. That's on page 29 of Daily Independent. Writers say chancellor over wrong usage of social media. Reps reject bills on rotational presidency, party oversight. These are the stories from the Independent. And finally, defections. No one is being coerced. Coming from Barrow and Bamidele.
From the Guardian, Ganduje wife orders to face prosecution as court rejects application of alleged fraud. Nigeria loses $18 billion to illicit financial flow as debt servicing gaps 70% of revenue. Reps reject bill proposing rotational presidency. National Security Summit. Stakeholders reject plan, flow stalled proposals, high military casualties. UNICEF links 50% of childhood deaths in Nigeria to malnutrition. UTME, 19-year-old commits suicide in Lagos over low score. Egypt lauds additional for transforming Africa. NICOM confirms 20 million naira Nigerians abroad as migration dialogue emphasizes protection. Nigerians brace for impact as U.S. proposes a 5% tax on remittances. And finally, Nigeria must work, says Obasanjo, as Lamido 6 closure of June 12 saga.
From the Daily Times, Tinubu, Jonathan, Babio, Boweri, others Ujai's clock at funeral. Nigeria to integrate 10 million out of school children by 2027. On the banner headlines from Daily Times, Senate moves altering FAC composition to include local government area reps. Koshodo remains PDP acting national secretary. This coming from the National Working Committee. Deploys swift military action to tackle Boko Haram resurgence in northeast. Coming from the Senate. Finally, from Daily Times, court decides Senator Natasha's faith on suspension. Contempt on June 27th.
And from Vanguard, Nigeria's forex inflow under threat as U.S. moves 5% tax on diaspora remittances. Conference saw experts brainstorm on government performance at midterm today. Over 100 military personnel, 200 civilians killed in 5 months. That's a report as Boko Haram again raids 2 military formations in Borno, kills 5 soldiers, injures 6. Nigeria's leaders undermining national security. That's from Tony Nyam. How lives get wasted daily on Nigeria's highways of horror with the following riders. Horrible federal roads in Cross River. Over 150 people burnt to death. 100 vehicles wrecked in rivers. North's highway of frequent disasters. Death. Lamentations in Southwest. Federal roads of frequent auto crashes in Southeast. FG doing its best to fix road infrastructure. That's from Umahi. Lamido to Tinubu pay Abiola's family 45 billion naira. FG owes him. Lagos LG pose protest rocks Agege over alleged imposition of candidates. Unending crisis, PDP in ICU may die. Ex-Benue Governor Suswan. Reps reject bills on rotational presidency, INEC's power to register political parties. And then Egypt 2025, that's from Sports Now. Zubair promises a more composed Flying Eagles against South Africa. These are the trending ones from today's Vanguard.
All right, let's have your thoughts.
Let's welcome this caller first. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Heartbeat of the East.
Champions.
Down.
I'm better than everyone. What's the super about Anambra? MCD growth at the Robo.
Down.
Antion and speech on the house. No, maybe. Quality representative.
Yes.
Yeah, but Kwana from now, this is other people are no room by not. The CEO represent Rumba North for State House of Assembly. I am a father quality representative. Open and then that I'm the long letter, social in the long letter I know now worker. The poor no state, and the barrier. Asking you they should call a town hall meeting with all the towns who been involved in the constitution. And it's all for now. Our own senatorial district is getting for 1 year our own representative. Let the court of property department.
What is happening there?
Is holding the election. What is holding it? Because I know they should do the next because we are lacking. And who is receiving the payment? Just in the studio should answer the question for me. Good morning.
Okay, thank you very much. And back to the analysts in the studio. Yeah. Okay. Prof or person?
Let me look at the JAM. That JAM mass failure.
Yeah, that's your area.
Yes.
As a rector.
Because people are becoming emotional, and, you know. But when you look at the way JAM is, the state of operations, the operations now, they reached a point where you can see transparency to a very large extent. I don't want to start comparing to other examination bodies because the government, the Minister for Education tried that and he was under fire when he said that it's not like the other one, where people can easily cheat and so on and so forth. Now, some of those people that complain about glitches, technical this and that, how come they did not complain before the results came out? These are some of the issues we have to look at. But I thank the registrar, JAM registrar, because he has opened up everything. Let there be review. They should review it. They should look at whatever they want to. And then if there are places they need to correct or step up. So I will encourage Nigerians to be calm until this review, until they finish. Yes.
Okay.
And of course, the person that committed suicide could be a case of
Otherwise, I've been wondering why not, if you fail, you try again.
Yes.
Try until you get there. Suicide is not the
the issue of
solution.
mental health has a top place now in our society. That's so a lot of people now do crazy things.
Okay, pause.
Yeah, I want us to look at Vanguard, how lives get wasted daily on Nigerian highways. And you look at it, it is actually the truth. Because no matter who boss it, I'm going to road crash here or there across the country. And these are federal highways that were built by government, federal government, and they refuse to maintain them. The road gets dilapidated, gets deplorable, yet my government will demand general about 17 trillion naira road and about southwest road or Kadafia, Lagos Calabar Highway.
Yes, I know.
Generally, man, can you maintain it? Because someone will waste. Because that road will end up an exercise in fertility. Because of coastal road called Milia Palalia. Man, can you live in inland and you maintain area? Calabar to Uyo roads and every other part of this country. The economic one is a road all since 2005 or 6 by Obasanjo Bidolia. Till today, I can equip. So you see how we don't have priorities in serving the people, and that is what we still say about leadership. Because when you leave a very sensitive thing again, these federal highways or these roads we are applying in this country, we should pay attention to them. I remember those days when somebody will leave Lagos by 12 in the afternoon and get to Anambra by 4 in the evening or 5 in the evening. Because Bini, Shagamu Road, Lagos, Ibadan, then down to Enugu Onisha. From Benin Shagamu, then you get to Benin Asaba. They were all good roads, but not anymore. The roads have collapsed. When these roads collapsed, no attention given. I mean, what kind of people are we?
A Minister of Works is saying that they will fix federal.
They will fix. What efforts are they making to fix? I respect one Minister of Works in this country, Mama Kontangora, who will drive on roads across this country under Babangida, General Mama Kontangora. He will drive on roads, he doesn't fly. So that as he drove around any place on notice it, I want the contract, and I monitor. That is what it is. But that is not anymore. Even on a comfort of the office, and I buy an order, just like the president has just said, he's doing his best to fix the economy. What is he doing? What are the policies? Is it when we are all dead? No, he said he's doing some reforms. Let us see the result of the reforms. So that we will better our lot. If not, Nigeria is a third poorest country. Second on the ladder, Nigeria would on a third position of the poorest. And yet this is a country as at 2014 that is doing very, very well, according to World Bank and IMF. We had the best growing economy as at 2014, but not any longer. What do you to us?
Well, maybe this caller will have an answer to that question. Hello. Make a name.
Everybody, just me, I salute you.
Good morning.
Because I want to let you know.
That
can edit our last speaker and people to look now. Can I say no first time for that? Yes, this is our last speaker that the last time one is expressway. Now since 2205 KB to Olympia, he did I make boom, China actually people who die. And that our last caller. Based on the Obasanjo. Yes, Obasanjo and the PDP will problem of Nigeria today. Like every out now, Obasanjo people. Give them a lot of call it to all the APC back of what Tinubu about the PDP. Still good year. I watch a little then APC said, within 8 years. Population, can you make APC like Tinubu? It's 10 years in PDP, no. Opposition of them, my criticize Robert. Because of General Momeni Walker, Peter Bandi Boat in the book, Chagaba, there will for 2027 only Allah can stop you.
Down. Upper Dickerson back each year, or go on Chisley and Guy in Apple. Hello.
Hello, heartbeat of the
Champions.
Mayor Down.
Sorry, your corner review. And I'm
That's his opinion.
Not all, you won't get a minute again. I can't see that through the name of one. Man's your only book. So you may fool when you're away when Nigeria. Yeah, carry good. So you are not a solution. But we're one of money. I'm going to look under Nigeria.
Please, it's their opinion. It's their opinion. You don't fight anyone's thought.
Opinion, yes.
And you're called to make yours as well. So.
Yeah. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
Okay, someone else is here. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm calling you from Anambra.
Your name, where in Anambra are you calling from?
Okay, I'm Sunday.
You're calling from Amenyi.
Yeah.
Your name is Sunday.
Here.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, go on Sunday.
So, the people of this country, the person there is getting that bad. If the people allow, when they call, we will mention to people that bring the problem in this country. Maybe the incentive for this is more. But this one, when we want to talk our mind, when we say we cut down, so if you not mention somebody name, this is that. It is not fair. So that is then the one that starts this thing. So it cannot end. Because everybody now is don't run into everything. How can this thing end? So I don't know. If you need to take action there. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, Sunday.
Okay, we'll have just two more national dailies to, dissect. Why we are not applying, that's from the nation, why we are not applying for loan by Southeast students. That's one of the headlines from today's nation. You can do well to read and then find out why. Agriculture grappling with challenges despite efforts. Ekiti recruits 500 for Amoteku, 10 million out-of-school pupils for classrooms within 2 years. I remain focused on reforms despite criticisms, says Tinubu. Lamido asked federal government to pay 45 billion naira with Abiola. Dignitaries bid Clark farewell. APC takes a majority in Senate to 68. And then court fixes June 27 for judgment in Natasha's suit against Akpabio. Orders from the nation.
From Daily Trust, how to prevent sudden death in people over 60. That's a feature on the Daily Trust. Reps reject bill on rotational presidency. Tax reform, Senate endorses 5% excise duty. On the banner headline from Daily Trust, Boko Haram kills 4 soldiers in renewed onslaught on military bases. Lamido and I would have challenged Tinubu if we were governors, coming from Amechi. Kidnappers invade FCT community, kill 3, abduct 1. Qatar gifts Trump $400 million jet. And finally, from Daily Trust, Rivers women protest abduction of 8 students traveling for WAEC. These are the stories from the national dailies this morning.
Okay, back to the analysts in the studio.
Okay, let us look at Daily Trust, where we have Boko Haram kills 4 soldiers. You know, this issue of Boko Haram and terrorism in Nigeria has opened our eyes to certain facts. One is that our soldiers need to be retrained. You know, they need to be retrained. And 2, I don't think it's wrong if we seek external assistance. Because this issue of Boko Haram is multifaceted. One, you take of the religious factor. You know, the Islamization bid, you know, because it's not just Nigeria. You know, these are people who are trying to create Islamic states throughout the whole Sahel. So how they do it, they don't care. To them, it's a religious obligation. Then, Nigerians, especially the Muslims and some of our leaders, should understand that in Nigeria, our constitution gave us the right to freedom of worship.
Yeah.
And Nigeria, I can put it this way, is a secular state. It's not an Islamic state. Pakistan, for instance, is an Islamic state. And some other, but Nigeria is not an Islamic state. So they should also remember that. Now, the militant or the Boko Haram and so on are now so sophisticated that they use drones. Our security operatives are denying, but there's no need denying such things because you know they are affiliated to other terrorist groups. They are getting stronger every day. They are using drones. They are now using helicopter to fly their call these soldiers or terrorists inside some place like Jos and so on and so forth. You see, they are getting more sophisticated, and this is not just what our soldiers with their level of training can contain. Also, put it this way, security is not only for soldiers alone to contain. The police, civil defense, and so on and so forth. I remember at a time in Russia, they had millions of policemen. Virtually every 5% to one policeman. But here we have just very few police personnel, and even those ones available, the big men use them as bodyguards. This is another thing. So
what about weapons? You know, sophisticated weapons.
It's part of it.
Okay.
It's part of it. So
do they have the wherewithal to contain the onslaught from the other side?
It's not part of that training. We need to be trained, both the weapon and so on and so forth. But this is like they are marching. They are trying to match a more advanced army. You know, it appears that because I've not heard so much about Nigerians using Nigerian army using drones and so on and so forth, which is terrorists.
But there was a time we purchased, I think, Tucano aircraft, 2 of them from America. Where are they? Why are we not using them?
Not 2, 4.
Oh, 4. So why are we not using them now?
That's why I said we must also think of hiring outsiders, even mercenaries. US also use mercenaries in Iraq. So there are people whose work, who are skilled in fighting terrorism, the Israelis and so on. You know, so we should not be, we should not just leave it until they overwhelm us.
And every year when we budget humongous amount for security at the end of the day.
That they are attacking military installations. Ensure they have the capacity to overrun the nation. Every time the soldiers will start running, it might get to that.
Well, we pray it doesn't get to that. It's awesome.
You see what you're saying? Let me tell you, our government is complicit to the problem of insecurity. Because you cannot tell me that this ragtag Boko Haram terrorists can overwhelm our soldiers, our trained soldiers. You understand? Because it is a religious thing. Some of our leaders in the north and the some who profess Islamic faith are sympathetic to what Boko Haram is doing. Very simple. So they are treating the issue. Remember the former administration that treated insecurity with kid's globe. Because Buhari pretended he was fighting them, Boko Haram, but he was encouraged them. Because I remember in 2012, 2013, 2014, when Jonathan under Ihejirika under Jonathan fought Boko Haram to a standstill. What did Buhari do? Buhari went to be saying that the military is killing the northern youths.
Yes.
Was it not? It was on record.
And that was a kind of vengeance.
So you understand? And now eventually he took over from Jonathan and treated Boko Haram with kid's blood. Therefore, he gave them, he did not fight them, but he did not do anything. And that enabled Boko Haram to overwhelm certain parts of the country, and that created banditry in the northwest and almost the entire north. You understand?
Yeah.
So when we talk about insecurity, there are people in government who are fueling it, and we should not be here talking about it. They know, because I remember when Dubai government arrested some people, the sponsors of Boko Haram in Buhari, tried them and they're in jail in Buhari now. And there are some names they submitted to Nigerian government that these are people who are financing terrorism in Nigeria. Under Buhari, that list did not see the light of the day as we are talking here. So what are you telling me?
Well, we no longer have to.
Please, thank you. We have just one message. Good morning, ABS, and God bless you people. The radio house doing justice to the paper review. Uti and Kingibe suspended is available because when is going to suspend Obi as well. One party system will bring anarchy with due respect to Mr. Jonathan. What efforts has he made since he left office to keep his party functioning? It's well known, brought out in the man from Aka, okay. Okay, AKA Ulu Kanachuku. Okay, thank you.
I still have this.
No. Let's save the problem for another day. I want to thank you for coming, Professor Cliff Wanna, Rector, Renaissance Modern Polytechnic in Baku, cultural expert, legal philosopher, Professor of African Visual Culture. Thanks for joining us on today's press review.
Thank you very much.
I wanted to say another welcome to you.
And as also Osino Kim is a consultant and public affairs analyst. Here we come to the end of press review for today. Do all to stay with us. My name is Uche Chukwu Ibunam.
Thank you for joining us. Hoping that having digested the newspaper headlines, you're now in the know. So utilize the information for your own good and for the betterment of the society. At 9, we'll be on to Anambra.